Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Homework 3.4, Rates and Constant of Proportionality. Remember, this is all about having the same rate over time and it giving you a straight line or a linear line like we talked about in class today. Right, so it says find the constant of proportionality for each graph. So we have something that we're comparing hours and miles. So the constant of proportionality, you always want to figure it out, and we can go ahead and do a rate right off the bat. The rate is for every 900 miles, we go 2 hours. So it was miles over hour, and we got 900 over 2. So we want to figure out what that is per 1. So we divide by 2. And we get our constant of 450 miles per 1 hour. So our rate is 450 miles per hour. And in equation form, what this is just going to look like is y is equal to, however we move up and down the y-axis, is going to be equal to our rate. That's what k is, our rate. So 450 times x, and x in this case is going to be our hours. So if I were to plug in 4 hours here, I should be able to spit out how many miles that is, and 4 hours should give you 1,800. Or if I would give you 5 hours, right, I should be able to give you how many miles that is. Right, so these are your two answers: 450 miles per hour, and your equation is just 450. Y equals 450x. Right. If I plug in the amount of hours here, and this represents hours, I should get the amount of miles right here. Okay. Let's go to number 3. It says the graph shows the mass of a substance found in the volume of liquid. What is the constant of proportionality in terms of grams per cubic centimeter? So they want grams per cubic centimeter. So they want the mass grams per cubic centimeter, centimeters cubed. Okay, so basically right off the bat we can say, okay, that's 50 grams over 100 centimeters. So that's one of the rates, 50 grams over 100 cubic centimeters. And then if we want to get this down to 1, we can divide this by 50, divide by 50, and that gives us 1 gram per 2 cubic centimeters, but we still want to get this down to 1 cubic centimeter, right? So we have to divide these by 2. And that gives us, you get 0.5 grams for every 1 cubic centimeter. So it's 0.5 grams per centimeters cubed. Right? In equation form, that's going to look like y equals 0.5x. Right? Where x is the amount of cubic centimeters in volume, right, that I can plug in, and y is the amount of grams that I'll get. So if I give you, 200 cubic centimeters in volume, you plug that in, you multiply it by 0.5, and you should get 100 grams, and that's exactly what you get. If you plugged in 500 cubic centimeters, you multiply that by 0.5, and you get 250 grams, right? So got to read these very carefully. So on this one, they want what's the constant of proportionality. They probably want this one, they want revenue, or dollars, right, per hour. So basically they want you to simplify 412.50 over, this would be, if this is 50 and that's 100, halfway in between has got to be 75, right? So what I would do is I'd use a calculator and divide both these by 75 to figure out what that constant is, right? Backside. All right, so we have the graph shows the speed at which printing press is printing pages of a magazine. What is the constant of proportionality? So we want pages, obviously, per minute. And in this case, I know right off the bat that's 400 pages over 5 minutes. And then I want to go ahead and divide both of those by 5 to figure out that, okay, that's 80 pages per 1 minute. So that's my constant proportionality, 80 pages per per minute. My equation is y is equal to 80x, right? Where x is the amount of time I give you, and y is the amount of pages you'd get. So if I gave you 10 minutes, you do 80 times 10, and you should get 800, and that's exactly what you get. If I gave you 20 minutes, you do 80 times 20, you should get 1600, and that's exactly what you get. This one says, what is the constant of proportionality in terms of gallons per square feet? So they want gallons over square SQ feet, FT, right? That's a square feet, okay? So in this one, you know it's 2,000 over 2, so sorry, 2 over 2,000. So to figure out what your answer is, you're gonna, again, you can use a calculator, divide by 2,000, sorry. We want to divide by 2,000 because we want to figure out how many gallons I get for 1 square foot. So your answer is definitely going to be a decimal over 1. So I'll let you use the calculator on that. Okay. Last one here, it says if the ratio of boys to girls in Miss Ritter's class is 3 to 5, right? We have boys to girls. That's 3 to 5. How many girls are in her class if there are 32 students, right? So basically we want to say 3/5 times 32. Okay. And remember, now this is right now is boys to girls, right? So, sorry, I messed up. So let's erase this for a second. The thing about the boys to girls ratio is 3 to 5. Another way to think about this is the girls to student ratio, so it's an L, would be 5 girls and 8 students, right? Because those 3 left over are the 3 boys. Now, if there are 32 total students in the class, you want to figure out how many girls there are, right? So 8 times what gives you 32? Well, that'd be times 4. So then 5 times 4, meaning there would be 20 girls in the class. All right, let's do the last one together as well. So it says the local high school team, 4 wins for every 3 losses. So there's your wins to losses. And it asks if they played 21 games, losses. If they played 21 games, how many games would they win? So we want to, first of all, say, hey, we do 4 wins for every 3 losses. Now we want to focus on the wins. So another way to write this is wins over total games played. Total would be, we have 4 wins for every, how many games have we played? 4 and 3 is 7, right? And we want to figure out, hey, if I play a total of 21 games, how many wins is that going to be? Well, 7 times 3 will get you 21, and 4 times 3 will get you your answer of 12 games. That's it. Call me if you have questions. Make sure you show all your work.